What's going on, guys? It is another beautiful day, and I thought I'd come at you with a topic that is extremely prevalent today and one that worries me the further and further we go down the path we're on as a nation. That is the toxicity mixed in with politics. Now, um, everyone has a bias. I have a bias. Anybody you talk to has a bias. If they tell you they're unbiased, they might be as unbiased as they possibly can be, but there's always something there to where they're going to lean towards one discussion or point of view rather than a different one just because of who they are. In terms of what I'm talking about today, is I thought I should talk about this because this is bleeding over into anything that happens, any type of discussion, any type of um, political happening, any type of world event. Now, I made a video actually, I uploaded it a few days ago, not last week, talking about my whole, I don't say stance, but I guess stance on the George Floyd situation, the terrible situation that they were in, and the Black Lives Matter movement, but how where I draw a line of like you need to keep law and order to an extent. I understand law is a problem, but you can go back and listen to that stance. But the reason I did that video when I opened up and I decided to do political talk was because I feel like people don't talk enough anymore. And I was being called out by people that I knew for years for being part of the problem because I simply said I don't like the violence in response to violence. But like I said, I don't want to get into that. You can go watch the video. It's called Black Lives Matter, open discussion. You can go look that up on this channel. But I wanted to get into the toxicity part of things today, and that bled over into that too. The problem today with people with their political beliefs or their beliefs in general is everybody. Well, first of all, we live in an age where social media is prevalent in everything, right? No matter what you do, no matter if you're buying something, if you're just looking, if you're spending time, you could be sitting in the room with your spouse or your significant other, and social media is there, which you'll both be on your phone, which is unhealthy to an extent. It's really unhealthy. But people form their own opinions through a lot of interaction that's minute in nature compared to the whole character of themselves. Now, what I mean by that is if you're having a complex discussion, I don't know, about anything, you can say racism since that's what's a big topic today, or you can just say about a policy of healthcare or something. So often these things are argued online. In 104, well, Twitter I know upped it. It's more characters now, but in a very small paragraph, or two, that you have to condense all your information into one, and there's no discussion part, even though you're having a back and forth, maybe a tweet, like tweet wars and stuff, a back and forth discussion to where you'll each jab an insult, or it'll be like a nice little low key one you throw in there. It's like, and you think, yeah, I got him on that one. But that's the problem, is that everyone is so fixated, and it's good to have confidence in your own opinion, but everyone's fixated on their own opinion, and there's too many people that think that they are correct. Like, for instance, I have an opinion, but it doesn't mean I'm right. Like to you, you might think it's like, that's common sense. How do you not think like this? But it's not a truth. It's an opinion of what you view a certain societal problem or issue or whatever you're talking about needs to be addressed, or where your stance is on it. That's why it's a stance. But so many people like to call people negative things or insult them just because they don't view stuff the same as you do. And I think that's an issue at the core of everything is nobody stops to think about others' viewpoints. In order to have an intellectual conversation that in the end might better or might come up with a better solution that really can possibly improve whatever situation you're talking about and make both parties happy or not happy, at least content. You have to put yourself in their shoes and see it. Even if you don't agree with it, you can see where they're coming from. A lot of people are just instant to be like, I'm coming from this spot and my spot's right. I mean, this is Twitter. This is what everybody that it's a lot of people I've seen. There are a couple friends that I have open discussions with that I don't agree with in terms of their views, but we're best friends because we respect each other's opinions. Respecting others' opinions is kind of slowly dying, which means with it dies our First Amendment. Because once you feel like you can't express yourself, which I've seen with a lot of things over the past couple of years, even now with the Black Lives Matter movement, there's a lot of people that want to discuss openly, but there's people that don't want to put themselves out there because they're afraid of backlash in any way. So once people get something in their heads and that becomes an accepted type of behavior of this is my position is right, you're wrong, with end of discussion, then people are like, they lose their almost will to put out their opinion because they're going to be called out for it, they're going to be chastised for it, they're going to, and it's really oppressing the First Amendment for somebody. If they don't feel like they can openly share their opinion, then that's their First Amendment right going out the door, and that's something that cannot happen. So my main point here is we all need to be able to talk to people, especially talk to people that you don't agree with. That'll be much more productive than if you surround yourself with a lot of people that you completely agree with and it's just a yes circle. Like, I agree with that, I agree with that. It's good to surround yourself with people that you agree with. That's the whole, right? You look for common ground, and if you're dating, if you're making friends or whatever. But you'll be surprised if you just talk stuff out with people and you find somebody that can open up with you comfortably enough, even if they don't agree with you, to where it's comfortable to have a conversation with you. Like I said, I have numerous friends that are like that don't agree with me on politics or anything, but we're best of friends because we're allowed to discuss. And there's times where we find common ground and we're like, man, I wish we could implement something like this, whether it's healthcare or, whatever. But I just think in order for us to heal, especially in the moment that we're in, that we need to be able to heal ourselves through the conversation. We got to bring each other together again. And it's after this past almost 4 years now of, no offense, whoever your stance is on the man, but of a president who's not a uniter. It's calling what it is. He doesn't unite people really. And it's obvious. I don't want to get too into that, but I think the man gets too much of a hard time. But then again, there's other days where I'm like I'm not a supporter of him, but I think people really get on him too much for some shit. Excuse me. But then there's other times where I just watch what he's doing and I'm just like, you're the president, dude. You gotta stop this. But I think he's the perfect president for the day and age that we're in terms of where we're a species where we like to communicate with social media and how so many characters and send brief messages, and everything is always for our agenda of what narrative we support, which way we go, it's all, a lot of it's a show. Sometimes people do something for a show online, it makes you feel empowered at times. But he's definitely the president for this time. Like, it makes sense when you think about it. But I just think we need to eradicate the whole toxicity portion of political talk. And I know I'm like barking up a tree that probably it's not going to change. It's not like people are going to see this video and most 99% of people, not people are going to see this anyway, but most people are not going to, they're going to go on with their day and nothing's going to change on Twitter or Facebook. I know that. I'm just trying to build my channel. But I figured that maybe if I can talk openly with some people, you'd be able to maybe find some common ground in your life with some people. But yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick video. 10 minutes, but 11 minutes. About I could talk more about this, and get more intricate. But the issue at hand of we're a nation divided in the United States. We really are. The Democratic, or you can call it the radical left and the radical right, have never been farther apart to where no one wants to budge. And it's weird because I also know a group in the middle, which is kind of where I sit on a lot of things, is in the middle. That's kind of like, the left wants radical change, a lot of it, and the right, the far right, wants a lot of radical change. But in talking to a friend of mine, we were like, whatever happened, like, we need, in order to make the overall masses happy, on average, like, you're not going to make everybody happy no matter what position you are in Congress or president or whatever. You're not going to make everyone happy. But in order to effectively better a nation, you need to be able to work within Congress and then incorporate progressive change. It can't be change that's all of a sudden like that is going to change people's lives instantly. Because in doing that, you might think like, oh, look at all the people it's good for, but then there's going to be the other half of the group it's going to be terrible for, and they're going to hate it, which is going to cause an uproar. You need to make changes on a scale progressively so that people can get accustomed to them. But it seems like there's a push for radical change more and more, which I know there's a lot of changes that need to be incorporated, in my opinion and many others' opinion, but it's a much more realistic goal to do it progressively over time, But anyway, that's it, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up here. Thank you if you enjoyed. Thank you for sticking around for the whole thing. If you did, if you can subscribe and share on any social media platform that you use. I'll have the links down below in my user for Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can check my stuff out over there too. Like I said, thank you guys. Like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day just to listen to me talk a little bit about this. Please comment whatever you think. If you like me, if you hate me, I want to hear everyone's opinion. If what I said today makes sense to you, or if you think I'm totally wrong, please interact. It's America, That's what we're here for, right? United States, land of the free, home of the brave. First Amendment, don't let that go away. All right, guys. I'll see you.